Kishane Thompson, who's starting his outdoor season here in China. Rohan Watson from Jamaica goes in lane 1, 5th at the World Indoors in Nanjing. In lane 1 for the second week running. Emmanuel Isemi from Cameroon, the African number 2, goes in lane 2. Letsili Toboko was disappointed maybe with 10.2 last weekend, but he is still building speed and sharpness after the 400 meters in the first few events of this year, building his endurance. He's still working on speed. Now, Kishane Thompson, Olympic silver medalist in Paris, of course, in the closest Olympic final in history. 5 thousandths of a second. He doesn't race very often. The fact that he's made the long trip suggests to me that he fancies his chances, and he'll have to be in form against the man in form, Akani Simbine. 2 out of 2 outdoors so far. Brilliant in Xiamen last weekend. His acceleration in the final 30 was very impressive. The indoor specialist, of course, over 60 meters, got a great start last weekend, but couldn't quite finish it and ended up in 4th place. He's in lane 6. Ferdinand Omanyala, also a great starter, powerful, the reigning African champion. 2nd behind Simbine last weekend. What can he do here in Kirchau? Jeremiah Azu, European world indoor champion, very relaxed, hitting all the right notes at the moment, enjoying his athletics back with his original former coach, Helen James. And Xie Junye gets a great reception from the crowd for China in lane 9, 3 times a 4th placer at the World Indoors. But the question is, Kishane Thompson, having made that long journey, what sort of shape is he in? Well, the early signs are good. There he is, right of picture. Ran 6:48 into a headwind outdoors and then 6:56 indoors over 60 meters. So the omens are good. He's got a fantastic start and a great finish as well. So the big names: Toboko in 3, Botswana. Kishane Thompson in 4. Simbine in the red. The man in form here in 5. Coleman in 6. Omanyala 7. Azu in lane 8. Men's 100 meters. Oh, I think it's Simbine on the line, on the dip. The two share a moment. They both full clear. Thompson was ahead with what, 5-10 meters to go just. But did Simbine come back to just get him on the line? Yes, he did. 9:98. It's 3 from 3 outdoors for Simbine. And surely now we have to say he is the man to beat in 2025 so far. He's put together a brilliant sequence. Thompson in his first race stole a march, but was pipped on the line, and Toboko with an improved performance from last week. We talked about his sharpness and speed getting better and better. There's the top 3, Simbine, Thompson and Toboko.
Great start from all 3 of those men that ended up in the eventual 3. Toboko, that was much better than we saw in Xiamen last week. Now at this point, Thompson, he just tightened up for me. He just forced it ever so slightly, and Simbine just stayed relaxed. Look at the South African here. He is straining, he's working hard, but he's... See, look at this front on picture here. Thompson just rocking and rolling side to side. Simbine almost focusing all that desire straight forward, and he just gets there ahead of Thompson. And Toboko, for me, it was a bit of a wry smile at some point over that finish line we saw in one of the shots, to just saying, all right, that's more like it. That felt good. So great to see Toboko so close to 10 seconds. Yeah,
10.2 becomes 10.03. That is improvement. There was no sense of panic from Toboko in the press conference yesterday. Long season ahead. You'll hear us and the athletes say that time and time again. Let's look at it again, though. This is a high-quality field, no doubt about it. We've got Azu there, second left from picture, who faded a little bit. But Thompson, an absolute class act at this stage. He thinks he's got it, but you're right. He starts to tighten up, and look at how relaxed, relatively, Simbine is.
What's up, viewers? Welcome back to the channel. So we're in the off season for track and field, but hopefully y'all enjoy these throwback videos that I've been sharing. If y'all new to this channel, please consider subscribing. That way y'all don't miss out on any of the updates when the new season kickstarts in January. But yeah, this race was from the Shanghai Diamond League all the way back in May. And this would have been Kishane's 100 meters season opener. Yes, Kishane clocked a time of 9.99 in his first 100 meters for 2025. And many thought that it was impressive. But what wasn't impressive about that run is the mere fact that he got beaten on the line again, but this time around by Akani Simbine, who at that time was the most informed 100 meter sprinter, because his seasons, because he's all the way in South Africa, for some reason, his season starts early than every other athlete's. So in March, April, May, he would have already been running 9.90 seconds, while all the other 100 meter sprinters are running 10.0 or 10 something. Kishane was lucky enough to break the 10 second by a very slight margin in his first 100 meters, but Akani Simbine would have already 2 races back set the world leading time of 9.90, and that was all the way back in May, as explained before. But yeah, this race was very exciting from start to finish. Even though Akani Simbine had the world leading time, many expected Kishane, with his power and just how he performs naturally over 100 meters, to win that race. And for majority of the race, he looked to be in command. He looked in control. But what we have seen for the past 2 seasons that Kishane has been competing on the highest level, his last 30 meters is a problem. He always fades. He always tightens up for some reason, and he gets clipped on the line. We saw it at the Olympic Games. He was a huge favorite, but for some reason, he allowed no lies to win him on the line. And we saw it again in this race in Shanghai, China. And many bashed him for this race in the beginning of the season, because they stated that Kishane would have allowed the same thing to happen at the World Championship that would have been in September. And fast forward to September, he ended up getting beaten, but not on the line. Obliqueville was the better athlete on the day. Even though Kishane didn't run his best race, Obliqueville was just a better athlete overall. But Kishane last 30 meters for me needs fixing. And if he plans to win a gold medal, because so far he gotten a silver medal, Olympic medal, a silver medal, World Championship medal. So if he wants to kick it up a notch, go one step further, he needs to work on that last 30 meters. We know his start is explosive. He's always one of the first, if not the first, out the blocks. But when he comes on to the last 30 meters, he tightens up. Similar to what we saw happen with the 100 meter, the sub 10 king. That would have been a Safa Powell. And we're seeing it in recent time with Johan Blake. As he gets older, he tends to tighten up towards the end and he fades. And whenever athletes does that, they always fades. And that's why we're seeing Kishane getting beaten at these big championships. But I believe if he can work on those on the last 30 meters for the upcoming season, then he will be unstoppable. Because out of all the top athletes that are competing now, he has the fastest time. There hasn't been any athlete out there competing now that would have gone below 9.75. Besides for Johan Blake, but Johan Blake is basically almost at the ending of his career. He's still running some races, haven't made the team to the World Championship nor the Olympics, but he's still running. So some might not put Johan in the mix, some might put him in the mix. But in terms of the male athletes that are running right now, none has gone below 9.75 except for him. And as we know, he's the second fastest man ever over 100 meters at 9.69 seconds. But yeah, I believe once Kishane can work on that last 30 meters, then he'll be unstoppable. Oblique or Noah or anyone that wants to challenge him have to run close to 9.6 to beat him. But yeah, feel free to leave y'all thoughts on this one in the comments.